Yeah, I mean, there has been a phrase that has been coined by the pioneers of mental toughness, which I'm not going to read it for them because I don't know it. But basically, interpreting it, it basically is a trait, is a personality kind of makeup. So you're looking at resilience. You're looking at having the ability to overcome adversity, stress. Uh, you're looking at the possibility of having components to hardiness, not superhuman, but able to process stuff, able to work things through, able to communicate with others, and able to accept help. For me, that allows me then to understand a person who would come to me generally looking some help or support. And if I was using the mental toughness questionnaire, then that's the basis in which I work from. Where I would use it at the moment is we're supporting 20 students who in the past have been classified as neither this bracket of in society that people are called NEETs, so neither in employment, education or training. They haven't been active in terms of education or job seeking, or they've been hanging around the house, the local community. So they go up to the jobs and benefits office and people would say, look, we haven't seen you in a while, you haven't registered with us, go to wage training and start doing your GCSEs, start doing some sort of vocational training. So they haven't had educational experience probably for 4 or 5 years, so they're put into a classroom, similar people to themselves, and at times it's very chaotic. The learning's chaotic, the personalities are chaotic, the behaviours are chaotic. So what we've encouraged Wade to think about is, let's find out where these young people are. They've been absent from education for a while. Let's look at their mental toughness. So we'll do the psychometric test with them, and we'll sit down and we'll analyse the scores. The areas in which with the psychometric test looks at is, there's an overall mental toughness score, and then you look at challenge, and challenge is seeing challenge as an opportunity rather than a barrier. And then there's commitment, and then commitment would be having the ability to stick to tasks. Now, if you imagine a young person, who has been inactive for a while, or has opted out of education, commitment is non-existent. So for to go into a training and employment agency and for to be set assignments and set tasks, it's a daunting experience. We're also looking at areas of control. So control, believing that you can control your own destiny. And again, that's difficult when you've been tied on to mummy's apron strings for maybe 3 or 4 years and you're being supported, financially, and everything's good. You get your socks ironed, and yourself, what it's like to live at home.
Oh, wow.
Best time ever. So again, and control again is broken down into 2 other kind of subsections. So it's life control and emotional control. We looking at confidence as well, aren't we? Having high levels of self-belief. And again, if you've had negative experience in school where you've been bullied, or education has failed you, or you didn't feel supported, confidence is a tough one. Having that idea of self-worth, self-belief, and unfortunately for some of the young people, they may have had periods of post-traumatic stress. They may have had periods of depression. They're battling some sort of an underlying issue. Confidence is broken down twice. So to look at confidence and abilities and interpersonal confidence. Now, what we're finding is majority of the young people are scoring very low, and it's to be expected just in terms of their background and where they're coming from. But the mental toughness reports allow us to identify the issue. So for example, if you're low in control and you're high in the rest of them, there's something there that you're trying to do that helps you overcome particular stressful situations, or maybe even trauma, or so it allows us to hone in on the lower score where that's where the issue is. So it'll enable us to kind of have a benchmark, I suppose.
Okay.
Where in the past, benchmarks are hard to come by because it's very difficult to get young people who have low in self-esteem and no confidence, to communicate, even because they're not in touch with their emotions, they're not in touch with their feelings, they've buried, some of the issues. So it lets us see from I suppose a bird's eye view that there is issues, and it gives me as a practitioner the confidence to push on the issue because I know there's something that underlying, where previous I was kind of making the assumption there would be, based on, not being active in education, kind of lying around the house doing nothing. You're always assuming, you're always making the assumption that there's something wrong, and maybe there isn't something wrong. And then I suppose the added value to this, you get a feedback report, which gives you examples and gives you some sort of tips and hints on how you can address particular deficits, within the areas. Useful, but important to say that it should, mental toughness shouldn't be used on its own. It does have to be supported by a practice or a framework, You're talking about 6 to 8 minutes. It is fairly comprehensive, it's fairly easy. Some of the wording in them, young people are not understanding, simply because they're just not in touch with the question, they're not in touch with the kind of emotional content that's in it. But with peer support or with, coaching support, they get around it, and it's quick, it's fast, it's effective, and it's not a barrier to young people, because asking young people to complete questionnaires is like asking them to go to the dentist if they're afraid.
Yeah.
It's so it's quick and it's effective. And the bonus for it, Andy, is they get a chance to see themselves. Some of them are afraid of the low scores, where it's, oh my God, look at how much I have to improve myself. And then the ones with the higher scores are going, wow, here's what I am, this is brilliant. So it gives them an insight to themselves.